Okay, perfect. So let me check the YouTube itself if it is live. Okay, it is live in the YouTube itself. So for those of you who are not able to access for YouTube live streaming, you can just use the Meet, just the way you have joined. So there's no need for you guys to have the two. But if you have the just for the data consumption, for less data consumption, you need not to have that too. So we can just have one streaming either YouTube or in the Meet, so it will still work. So basically, let me share out let me try to share with you guys out the screen. So what we did, let me just reframe what we did previously. So I don't know if someone had a problem while don't know if someone had a problem while you are setting up your collab book. So if you had a problem, you can just let me know. So if for those of you who tried, you can just let me know. Okay. Others we can just start the class, and I hope both of you are fine. So for the people who have just joined now, okay, I welcome you all, and yeah, I welcome you all. So let me confirm if my screen is well shared out. So let me have okay. I think my screen is now fine, and it is perfect. My screen is fine, and it is perfect. So Immaculate, are you with me? Okay, you can just be a volunteer. I'll volunteer just to read for me the text there. So in case there is a question, you can just excuse yourself. Then you ask the question. But for the members, if you can have something like you know the question that the member have asked, then you can just proceed, and then you answer the question basically. So just without wasting too much of your time, guys, we are just going to start. The way I told you, for the people who are joining for us for the first time, for your instructor will be Jacoraro, which is me. I'm still a student, just as like you guys. So some have finished the school, no problem about that. So what we are interested here is just for the knowledge itself. Okay. Yes. Okay. It's not visible. Okay. Okay, it's okay, it's okay. I've seen the problem. Let me just zoom it. Okay, okay. So let me stop sharing this, and then I share with you guys the live stream itself. Okay. I think this will work best for you. I think now is okay. Is it okay? Okay. So perfect. Sorry for that inconvenience. Okay, so previous for our last class, we managed to understand how to print a hello world in Python, and we understand various ways of assigning where we define it as being the variables. So we landed into a platform known as the variables. There we tried to assign some values some of the parameters. Let me just call them like that. So we had okay, just a minute. Let me confirm if my live streaming is on the other side. If my audio quality is better. So just a minute. Let me confirm it out. Okay, it's perfect. So today we will just talk about. So we left when we were still signing. So basically yesterday we tried to work out on the volume just to demonstrate for us the variable concept that we learned. So we tried to get the volume of the cuboid itself, where given the height to be 2, the width was 3, and the length was 4. So the volume of getting a cuboid just from the basic mathematics, this is not programming itself. The volume is height times width times the length itself. So this is the volume of calculating the cuboid. So we managed to, okay, something like commenting. So if I say just commenting, what comes into your mind? What comes into your mind? Someone can just unmute, then you just say what comes to your mind when I talk about commenting a given section of a code. Please let me know from you guys what is commenting. Okay, if there is no definition, we have two different ways of commenting. So just Python also just being like other programming languages. So also we can comment a given code segment or a section. Yeah, we can give. So we have two various ways of commenting a line. So we have the, okay, Lisa is talking about the line X. Okay, not considered per. I have not even understood that. So someone can just interpret for me that. Okay, Lisa is saying not. Okay, so we have two. Let me help you guys just to save on time. So we have two types of the commentation. That is the line commenting and the multiple commentation. You see that. So I can comment. I can comment a given line, a single line. So in Python, we don't use so in other programming language. So we don't use in Python. You don't use a forward slash, just like any other programming languages. So when you want to comment a given line of a line code segment, you just need to have a hash sign. Yeah, hash sign. So if you don't know that, you can just highlight the text itself. Then just the way I told you guys, you just control you guys control forward slash like that. Then it just perfectly it comments that. So if you want to uncomment it just the same way you did it, you just reverse everything. So I'm going to comment this one because okay, let me just reconnect these, then I come here. So while it's still booting up, let me see. Okay, connected perfectly. So I'm having a height, so I'm going to comment these ones because we want to be logic, we want to be representable. You see that? So I'm going to uncomment that perfectly. So this is the concept which we did yesterday. That's why I don't need to waste too much time in it because we did it yesterday basically. So we have the width and also we have the itself. We had the length itself. So where we signed the value. So I'm just going to use the same values where we had 2. After that we had 3, comma 4. Perfect. So just the way I told you that you can run a code, you can in a Colab book you can run a code differently. So like control enter will run this code, then we see the output. So the output is still just 24. So we learned assigning values to the variables. So but we have like the variables, we have different rules for assigning these variables, and we really need to talk about this kind of rules. So we get in touch to get we even learned the so this what we are doing here is multiple operation, like we are doing multiple assigning to the variables, multiple assignation to the variables. So we have multiples there. Okay, this is what I want. We missed yesterday. So we have various rules. We have various naming rules for naming the variables, just like in other programming languages. So let's just get in touch with this kind of rules, because Python is somehow is like case sensitive like that. So let's get in touch with this kind of rules. So rule number one is telling us that you should start variable name with an alphabet or underscore character. You see that you should start a variable name with an alphabet or an underscore. Okay, let me show you these guys. Mm-hmm. Okay, I want to, I made I have some of the code segment. You are going to look at them. So up to that point, rule number one, I don't know if there's someone who have a question. So if you have a question, so if you have a question, you can just raise your hand and then you ask the question. If you have any question concerning what we are doing today, please let me know if you have a question. Okay. So if you don't have a question, we are just still giving the basics. We are just still giving the basic of the Python. We want to understand the basic of the Python. So I'm giving you the various ways. You have a variable. So we have some of the standardized rules that are supposed to be used while we are using the variables. So basically, well, there is a reason why I'm intensifying that we need to understand deeply the concept of the variables. So these rules, rule number one up to six, we must follow them intensively. There's a look at the rule number four. Let me highlight it for you guys. Rule number four is talking about that you cannot use a special characters with the variable names such as the dollar sign, percentage, hash, and at to initialize a variable. You see that? Not even initialize it. You can't use it while we are giving a variable name to a given function. Okay, these examples of these kind of rules I've already given them there in the notebook, so they are there for eternity. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you can see their code statement here. We have like these are the ones which are normally allowable. And before I do that, I need you guys to understand something here. So I'm just going to add a note. So let me add a text here. Okay. So just like I just want to explain these I just want to explain these rules. Just want to explain these rules. So I'm just adding a text. So don't worry about the text. So I'm just adding a text here. So let me let me have it with you. So we cannot have something like we have even percentage, we have even hash name, then we assign something like then we give it even an integer value. So this one is not allowed. This one is not allowed. Basically, is not allowed in Python itself. Again, you can't have something like we have. Is not recommended yet. Sometimes it do works, but it's not recommended. We have my name. So we have that. So is sometimes it works, but is not recommended itself. You see that. So if you have decided to use the lowercase, where basically while we will continue programming my normally calls, I will really use the lowercase alphabetical letters. So like if I want to have my name, so let me have my name. My name is equal to, let me have something like Jack. So is there. So please, if there is a question there in the group, you can just let me know. If there's a question, in the anywhere, you can just let me know. If someone have carried the hand, you can just let me know, please. So I have my name is Jack. So this is one of the way of even declaring a variable. So this is good. So these are good ways. So I'm using a lowercase itself, or I can decide to differentiate, to separate my and the name itself. So there I will use the underscore. It still work, no problem. It still works. It's perfect. So again, in naming the variables, we have some of the the terms you need to understand. We have like if I've written something like my name, I have something like written as my name. So we can use a terminology. Allow me to use this terminology of camel case and a snake case. You see that? So I have a camel case and a snake case. So those are majorly the commonly used cases while we are declaring available variables inside the Python itself. So like this one which I've written here, my name, it shows this one is a camel case itself, because it's like a camel. You see that? If you draw a camel in your mind, it will really intensify that is a camel. So we can use a camel case just for in declaring our variables. We can use a camel case in declaring our variable. But what about the, let's get to understand now what is this now snake case. Okay, we have now snake case itself. So I will have, let me say my name Maggie. Okay, so let me have my, so let me have my name underscore again Maggie. So let me have Maggie. So you have Maggie itself. So I'm declaring that. Then I have it there. I have Jack. Okay, this one is still also allowable. You see that? This is still allowable. My name, Maggie. So this is what we refer to as the camel kits itself, and this one. So let me just tell you this, that this the camel case. So let me have a camel case here. So this is the camel case, and this is what we refer to as this is what we refer to as snake case. Sorry, snake case. We have something like that. Perfect. So that is it. So up to this point, we are understanding the rules of naming our variables. So if you have a question, you can just let me know. So these are the things. If you understand this, so these are what are needed here. These are what are needed. These are what are needed, and after that, so I've tried to even write some of the some of the bad variable names which you are not supposed to have. Like you can't start with a number there, integer 7 my python. If you write this, you are going to get the syntax error itself. So let's just try to run this, then you see that invalid decimal literal, so we can't have it there. So these are just the variable names which are not allowed. Yeah. Okay. Is there up to that point? Please let me know if there is someone who have a question. Please let me know if there is someone who have a question. Okay. Let me see. Okay, again I can see some people have just joined now. Okay, we have not we have not gone for so far. You can see we are also live in YouTube itself. We are also live in YouTube, so I'll just repeat. No worry, because these recordings will be there. Today I'm recording the class, so don't worry if you missed here. You will just still get it in the YouTube there. But don't forget to subscribe, and you give a like there. Okay. If there's no question, I'm just going to continue. Up to that point, please let me know if you have a question. Up to that point, please let me know if you have a question. Let me get a question for you guys. From you guys, please let me know if there's a question. Please let me know if there's a question. Okay, perfect. How is the speed? Please, someone can just tell me how is the speed? How is the speed? Can I increment it or decrease it? Is it okay? Okay, it's just okay. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. Let me get the chart for you. Okay, no one have. Okay, it's just fine. I can see the text tools are there. Okay, let's proceed. And we understand this. So I'm still just giving you guys the basic for the Python because we will start building our AI by using this Python, and we need to understand the way. Oh, I even pasted for you here the Pythonic way for the. So Pythonic way can also be said as the snake case. So let me have also easier snake case. It can also be said as the Pythonic way. So this is how the snake case or Pythonic way. Just the name Python itself is being represented. Okay, I've even given you some of the not Python. Some of you can't like you can't have my like this without separating it by underscore. So this one is not allowed. By signing this, you can see is even the throwing error itself. The Python interpret is not a variable name. But if I have an underscore, there's an error. There's not we don't experience that error. So perfectly. So we need to understand the data types. Okay, itself there's a statement here which I need to explain. There's a concept of overriding. So let me just write it for. Let me give a comment for you here. Sorry, let me give a comment here. This concept of overriding. Overriding. Let me have it here. So we have a concept of overriding itself. Previous class we used an example of a container containing money. Yeah, we had 3 coins in a container itself, and this container it contained three. So I decided to change mine to store because maybe the container was big. I decided to add more coins inside it. So I added three again. So we were getting six itself. So again, let's assume that okay, I'm a student. I've been given a hostel somewhere. So I'm paying a rent of 1,700. Perfect. But now the following year, the rent reduced up to 2,000. Are you getting that? So I'm assigning the first value. So this is the initial. So let me just have it here as the initial. So let me use here the initial. So I'm having the initial. So I'm having the current itself. So let me have with you guys the current. Okay, perfect. So the value of the rent have reduced to 2,000 perfectly. Now the third year, when I'm now in the third year, so let me have this one as this first year, this second year, and this my third year. Okay, perfectly. So let me remove this first. So my third year, the landlord decided to increment the value by 2,000. Maybe due to the new installation, a lot of populations are really struggling for the hostels. So he decided to add for us 700. So let's try. So we have the rent itself. So we need to is adding for us the 700 itself. So please let me know you guys. So if I've tried to run this my code here, so what will be printed in the screen? Please let me know from you guys what will be printed in the screen. Please let me know what will be printed in the screen. So I have rent is equal to rent plus 700. It decided to raise the rent. Even I've made it simpler, more simpler. Okay, okay, fine, Raman. The thanks. That is a good move from Raman. Let me know from okay, Gideon 2,700. Perfect. I can see we are really moving well because we are getting this concept. Okay, so we are getting. So let's run in Control Enter and we see what's happening. So it is perfect. So we are getting 2,700. So you can see the second rent is overriding. So we are using the current, then it is overrides the initial perfectly. And we also need, if you want to print all of them, we also understand that. So today I just want to make things very okay with you and very much more simpler. So besides adding rent, so besides having rent plus, like this, we don't need to do a lot of this. We just want to make things more simpler and look, yeah, just more simpler. Yeah. So we are going to have addition sign. So we are going to add, it is rent. So we are going to have a rent plus something. So we are going to have rent plus. So let's try to have this code here. So it's still okay. So you can see the operator which you are using is still okay. So we are incrementing the current rent by 700. So we are using the addition sign is equal to 700. So we are incrementing. So that is what is known as incrementation. So what are we doing there? We are overriding. So this concept here, this one and this one is overriding method in Python. So here, this operator, so let me just give a comment there. So this one is called increment. So we are incrementing it, increment. Okay, perfectly. So let me move. If someone does not have a question, can I go on? Can I go on? Please let me know from you guys. Please let me know. Can I go on? Okay, Gideon is saying I can go on perfectly. Can I go on? Okay, okay. Fred, I've raised the hand. Yes, Fred. Okay, someone is asking that is there a constant in Python? Is there a constant in Python? Okay, perfect. We can still declare constants in Python. We have that function. Yeah, we have that function in Python itself. We can implement it. So we use constant because it's a variable. We can use still that concept. So that concept, I'm going to demonstrate it for you guys while we are going to go deeper into the Python itself. You will see we are going to use different constants there. Yeah, we can still implement it in Python. Have I answered you? Sama? Okay, perfectly. So let me just proceed. Okay, so today I really just wanted us to talk about the integers and the floats itself. This concept we really need to understand, the integers and the floats. Okay, from basic knowledge of programming, we understand that floats, it normally consists of a numbers which normally are in decimals. So like having 2.3, that is a decimal. That is a decimal value. So that is a float. That is a float. But what is an integer? An integer is like an whole number. You see that? Integer is like an whole number. So let's understand the difference between the integer and the floats we are having in Python itself. So let me open up my Word document. So let me have a Word there. I don't know if you can see my Word. Let me just let me present my screen again for you guys. Let me quit this screen, then I reopen it. I just share the entire screen. Let me just share the entire screen for you guys. We have let me share the entire screen. Okay, let me use this share. Okay, hope you can see well my screen. So I have floats. So floats are like so we have floats. So floats are like let me try to enlarge it for you to see. Floats are like 42.0. 42.0 is a float. We understand that. What about the integers? So integers are like like let me have 23, we have 4, we have 5. So those are integers itself themselves. So those are integers. In floats they have decimal points. Okay, perfectly. Don't save. Okay. I wanted to present the entire screen. Where it has disappeared, I don't know. Okay, perfectly. So we are having I've used okay, I just wanted to use the operator here called of division. I wanted to print 3 over 2. So 3 over 2. So let's get it. So we are getting that is 1.5. So why is it 1.5? It is in Python we have a print function. Print function, if you use division, normally arithmetic calculation by default they come as a as a float. By default they come as a float. If you use a single division sign like this, so they come as a float. But what can we do? Because I don't want to work with the floats, maybe. What can I do to avoid this float? I'm just going to increase. I'm just going to add another division sign. Yeah. So let me print it and you see the concept. Okay, so you can see that there's one. There's one. So I've just eliminated the issue of floats and I want to print integer in my screen. So that's this is one of the concept where that is good for you to understand. Since we'll move on with the Python, it is a concept to understand because we might not use there are certain concepts that we will require. We don't have to use with the you deal with the decimal points. Yeah, so that's perfectly. So we have print function there. We have a slash slash two perfectly. Division two. It eliminates the float itself. So previously, I will make you understand how this one works. How this one works. So I just need to. Okay, let me remove this. So let me have. So let's print 1.5. Okay. So I'm supposed to move to the floors, but before that let me still tackle this integer. So you can see this example, we are assigning a to be 3, b to be 2.5, and we can really tell there's an inbuilt function called type. You see this, there's an inbuilt function called types that we can use to identify which kind of data type is it. You see that, which kind of data type is it we are using here. So if I run this code statement, it will really tell us that A is an integer, B is a float. Perfectly. A is an integer, B is a float. So you can see how integers and floats are being implemented. Okay, let me try to change something. Like let me have this 0.0, control enter. Okay, you can see now A is float and B is int. So from just like from other different programming languages, there are different ways of implementation. Coming to that data types, they might be different. You might get that some of the data types they differ in other programming languages. So don't be confused with other programming languages. So don't be confused because you might get that there are some of the data types that they are not the same. So you might get confused. So don't be confused about that. You must be careful about them. So I've just told you initially there's a type function which can really tell us which kind of data type are we working with. Yeah. So we have the type function. So for those people who are in the last bootcamp, you understand in JavaScript it becomes different. We were using type of. Yeah. So don't be confused about that. So this I'm also going to tell you the concept. So here, okay, previously there's something here I need also to tell you guys that we are getting 1.5 and you understand just from the basic mathematics. This is now not programming. You understand what is rounding off. So we rounding off, and also we have rounding off and which one? Truncate. We have truncate and rounding off. Okay, I will get to understand that too. Okay, so this concept we need, there's a way also we can convert float to the integers. There's a way also we can convert float to be integers, integers to float, float integers, just like that. Floats integers, integers to float. Okay, let me know. Let me let you know this. So you can see I've assigned the value of a. We have the float to be 3. So I just want to, you understand very well that 3 itself is an integer. 3 is an integer, but I don't want it to be an integer. I'm declaring it as a float itself. So it's like I'm forcing it to have a float function. So we are going to see, if you run this our code, we are going to understand how it's going to behave. So b, I've given the value. The value for b is an integer. The value for b is an integer. You can see. Oh, sorry, is a float. You can see that 28.9. You can see that. So, but I'm forcing it to have an integer. So let me run this code statement to get perfectly. So you can see that float. Now the integer has been converted to float, and also the float has been converted to integer. So please let me know from you guys if you are understanding what I'm saying. Please let me know from you guys if you are understanding from what I'm saying. Okay, thanks Immaculate. Thanks Immaculate. Only Immaculate is understanding. Please let me know if you are understanding, you guys. Okay, Brian is understanding perfectly. Okay, that's nice. Okay, you need to understand this. Yesterday I had not really yesterday, but over the weekend I had a talk. We normally have a meeting as the ambassadors. So we had a talk where our leader called Shauri Shinha talked about some of the interview questions that we might experience. And unfortunately, that is one of the questions which also I met while I was doing my full stack intern. So they were asking that about floats itself. So why are floats are an approximation to the numbers they represent. So for some of you will take interview questions for the programming itself. He told us that these are one of the questions which are very fundamentals, and even he never get it while he was seeking a job at Google company. He never got it. So the question was why floats are an approximation to the numbers they represent. Why are they approximation to the numbers they represent? Let me have a text here to explain for you guys what I mean. Floats will always, you can have a float of such kind. So we can have a float of 4.3 itself. But according to Python itself, the geniuses who developed, okay, let's get this concept first is when I bring the geniuses principle later. So we have that 4.3 is a float itself. But the way it is being stored in the memory or in the brain of the Python, it is somehow different. So you can get that a float we have 4.3, but it has some of other what other values like 0.0000 something like even 123. You see that we have 4.30000123. So that is what is going to be stored in the Python brain itself. So again, I can have a value like 23.0, and it's going to be stored there like 0.0000.9. So let me illustrate for you guys what I mean. So I decided to take a value, a function called, okay, I decided to take a value. I want to print 0.3 and I have pasted it 30 times. Okay, let me remove this first. So I have pasted it 30 times. So from our basic mathematical knowledge, what is 0.23 times 30? So I have pasted this 0.23 30 times. So please let me know from you guys, what is 0.23 times 30? So let me just remove it from here. What is 0.23 times 30? So let me multiply it by 30. So let me see, maybe one of you guys have reacted to the question. So what is 0.23 times 30? Okay, 6.9. Perfectly. From basic mathematics, we understand that it is 6.9. It is 6.9. If we multiply it, 0.23 plus 30. Perfectly. Okay. Let's let's print out. Let's print out this. We are going to realize that is a 6.30. Thank you, Mora. You have gotten it. But what about if I'm adding this? So I'm adding it 30 times. So I'm adding it 30 times. Let me get the answer. So I'm getting that it is 6.9000006. 6.9000006. Where does this 00 come from? You are yet to know that. So let me have for you guys another example. So before that example, I just really need someone to tell me. So what, from your basic knowledge, what is multiplication? So how can we implement multiplication using addition? So I don't know if there's someone who can explain for me what is multiplication in essence to addition. What is multiplication in essence to addition? What is multiplication in essence to addition? Okay, perfect. Let me help you guys. So multiplication is just repeat. We are repeating additions, repetition of addition of the same number. You repeat addition of the same number frequent. You repeat addition of the same number. You get that? Yeah. So I'm going to give you an example. Let me remove this code up to this point. I really want you guys to understand this, because these are one of the fundamental interview questions you will really meet while you face your interview questions. So we get that it is 0.46 perfectly. Perfectly, it is 0.2. Okay, 0.46. If I add 0.23 plus 0.23, I'm getting 0.46. It is perfect, is like that. Because we have two decimal places, and the one which is going to be Python brains interpret is as what? Two decimal places. Even in our answer, we are going to have two decimal places. Perfectly. So someone can ask me that, why are we not having those 00? Why are we not having that 00? Because it is too much small in that Python ignores it. We are only taking 0.23 plus 0.23. If we add them, we are getting 0.46. So the reason why we don't have 000 is that it is too small for the Python to understand. Now let's add one. Let's add 0.23. Let's add 0.23 and we see what's going to happen. Okay, now we get that it is 0.6900001. Now it has become essential. The decimal places that Python was ignoring, they are now essential. Why are they essential? Because they have become now, they are extending to expand. Now Python tries to interpret, hey, these decimal places, they are very important. I don't need to ignore them ignore them. That is why if I paste this my code more than 30 times, we are going to have what? We are going to have a decimal functions. We are going to have a decimal function. This is the concept I really need you guys to understand. Why floats are approximations? They are just approximation. They are not actual. They are just approximation to the numbers they represent. Get that? So let me have let me give you something. So I have 2.3 plus let me have 2.3 plus 2.3. So what are we going to have in our screen? 2.3 plus 2.3. What are we having? 2.3 plus 2.3. What is it? What is 2.3 plus 2.3? What is 2.3 plus 2.3? What is 2.3 plus 2.3? From basic mathematics, don't think as a programmer now. Just be a mathematician just for some seconds. 2.3 plus 2.3. Okay, it is 4.6. Perfect. It is 4.6. Okay, I can see Lena have joined now. Lena, how are you? Okay, it's perfect. No problem. So we have 4.6. So let us give the same code. Let us give the same code for Python. So let's have the same code for Python itself. So let's have the same code. So we have 4 point. So we have 4 point. It was 2.3. So it was 2.3 plus. Let me add 2.3 itself. So let's have this. Okay, so we have 6.4.6. We have 4.6. Why are we having 4.6? Is because we have 2.3 is of one decimal place. Again, 2.3 is of one decimal place. Now the number which is going to be stored, or which is going to be the result of the output, will also be one decimal place. That is what Python understands. So this concept, all the concepts I was trying to explain here, is known as the precision concept. The geniuses who implemented the Python itself, they are trying to be precise. You see that? They are trying to be precise. So that's why we can't have 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Yet we are dealing with the floats. So this is why floats are approximation of the numbers they represent. So that's perfect. So why are they approximations of the numbers they they represent? For for precision, to be precise, for precision. That is perfect. So today we planned to have a class for 90 minutes, and I don't know it has remained how many minutes. Let me check it out. Oh, okay, it is when it is 8:54. So we can still tackle the boolean data types, comparisons, and the logical operators. So unless someone have a questions, you can let me know. You can let me know you can let me know before I proceed to the Boolean data types, comparison, and the logical operators, which will not even take us too much time because we will be just doing the comparison. What is this and this? I have A and B. Which one is greater and which one is less? So perfect. So unless someone have a question, you can raise your hand or you can type it in the chat. That one will be okay. And also, if you are just okay, I can just proceed. If you are understanding this concept really well, I can just proceed. Videos are there for you guys for eternity in the YouTube. We are alive. Our class is live there and is being recorded, so it's perfect. Don't worry about the class recordings. It is there after this. I share with you guys the recordings itself. Okay, can I proceed? Can I proceed? Okay, so let me proceed. Let me proceed with you guys. Okay. In first year, we were taught something called the logical gates. Logical gates. We understand the logical gates. We have the AND, we have the NOR gate, we have the OR gate. We have different types of gates. We have different types of gates. We have different types of gates. Let me check the people who are viewing us live. Okay. Okay. So we have we have the gates itself. So just the way I've told you the Boolean data types, we're just going to give the comparison. For example, I have A. So I'm giving a variable, so I'm just trying to give a variable there. I've used A. So is A. So inside A, I have 3 and 1. Is Otieno older than Onyang? Okay, so we have 3 and 1. Basically, is 3 more than 1 from our logical unit. So we get that 3 is greater than 1 is greater than 1. So what will we have as a return value? So this is how Boolean expressions are being presented in what? In Python. So let me try to run this code segment, and we have a true. It is true that 3 is greater than 1. Yes, it's true. So what about if I have less function? So let me try to be less. It's false. 1 is less than 3. So we can't have 3 is less than 1 there. We experience a false function. So let me, you can even have equal to, we still experience a false. 3 is not equal to 1. You see that? So we have even not equal to, so let me have not equal to function there. 3 is not equal to 1. They are not equal. But if I could have that 1 is equal to 1, then I'm going to have a true. Okay, 1 is not equal to 1. So is false actually. Is false actually because 1 is not equal to 1. 1 basically is equal to 1. So we don't, so basically they are equal. So we don't need to have not equal. Yeah. If it's not confusing me, you guys, there are certain things like it depends with certain, I'm not going to mention that. Okay, just the way I've told you guys about the logic functions. So let me I try to implement a very simple code here, to show for us the logic functions. So we are getting that the rent. So I really like to use the rent so much. So I'm having the rent. Rent is basically is equal to 1,200 basically. So rent is 1,200. Okay, it's affordable. So I'm having rent is greater than 1,000 and rent is less than 2,000. So let's have rent, yeah? So let me just use the function. I have 1,200 here and I have 1,200 here. So let's get to analyze this. Is 1,200 is greater than 1,000? Yes, it is true. So let me just remove here and I just try it is true. Okay, sorry, before that. So if I'm comparing between 1,200 and 2,000, so I'm saying that 1,200 is less than 2,000. Actually, it's true because 1,200 is less than 2,000. So we have a true function here. So I have a true function. So I have AND operator. So true plus true, true and true. So what do we get the answer? We have true and true. So what will be the output? Let me know from one of you guys. So I have true and true. What will be the output? I have true and true. Okay, Nekesa is saying is true. What about you? If you really understand the logic gate itself, we have true and true. Please, someone let me know. Okay, it's only Nekesa did the logics. Okay, I got you. We have a true function. If you have true is true, we have true false. While we are performing the AND operation, we are going to experience false there. So we are going. So let me just reverse everything the way they are. So we have the rent there and the rent. So perfectly. So we are going to have true actually because we are experiencing. So we are going to have true. Okay, it's perfect. So Let me implement note, because note also is there. So we have note. Sorry, note. So not true. So everything which is here, we have gotten that it is true. So all this concept you are getting here, we have gotten that it is true. So what about if you want to get not true now? The opposite. I mean, we are negating the true function. We are negating everything. We are going to negate everything there. So let me just reverse it there. Then okay, we are going to get false, because we are negating, it's like we are negating that true function. In fact, I implemented it here, so it's there. So you guys, I think what we have discussed today is enough, and we are going to call it a day. Basically, I analyzed. So let me return back to the live stream. Okay, let me remove this from the stage. Okay, so perfectly, basically, what I analyze the data for you guys, what you really given there in the group, and I come to realize that we'll have our classes. We'll have our classes as in we'll have our classes as in Monday. We'll have our class in Wednesday, and we'll have a class on Friday. So there will be three. So we'll have 3 weeks. So we'll have three days in a week we'll use to do our boot camps, and the rest of the days you will just do your work, and by doing the exercises from the class itself, and even doing the practices that we have learned in the class. So we'll have 3 days there. We'll have 3 days in a week for our boot camp, and the rest of the days will be for the exercise, and for the practice, for the personal practice there. So today, I don't know, there's attendance. Okay, today there's attendance there. I need to submit it for you guys. There's attendance. I think I'm alive. Okay, perfectly. Let me be alive. Let me get live YouTube. I get the live section there. Okay, so the normal classes the class time will proceed to be the 8 p.m. East African time, will be 8 p.m. East African time normally, and we have 3 days of our boot camp per week, which will be Monday, Wednesday, and the Friday. I think that is what you provided, and that is the outcome for what you provided yesterday. So I'm just trying to get the attendance sheet here. I don't know if you have a question. If you have a question, you can raise the question. If you have a question, you can raise. Okay, let me get. I can see I'm alive there. So I'm trying to get for you guys the attendance sheet. This attendance sheet will be there for you guys for 10 minutes. It will be there for you guys for 10 minutes. Yeah, it will be there for you guys for 10 minutes, and after that it will close. So let me get the link. So let me open it up, send it perfectly. So and the attendance sheet also is there live. Let me share the attendance there. Attendance sheet. Attendance sheet also is there live in YouTube. And also let me share it you guys for you guys in the group. Where is it? Okay. So I have it here also. So there's the attendance sheet. It lasts for 5 minutes. So if you have received it, just to start signing straight away. Oraman, you wanted to say something? If I'm not wrong. Okay, basically tomorrow we won't have anything, but I'm really trying to organize for you a section like a webinar session just for mentorship itself, just for mentorship. Basically, I don't know if it will be tomorrow. I will let you guys know, but I really wanted you guys to implement what we have learned. You install that collab, you get familiarized with the collab, and you implement the what we have learned in the day one and day two itself. Yeah. So tomorrow we won't have a class. Yeah. Roman, tomorrow we don't have a class. Anyway, you guys, you can sign. I don't know the sheet. Okay, the sheet will automatically close 9 9:10. So I think it's remaining 3 minutes. So far, two people are the people who have signed. So okay, there are three for perfectly. Please let the signing sheet not to leave you out, because this is we will use the databases from the signing sheets to give you the certificates. So bye bye everyone. If you have a question, you can just ask before I leave. So for the people, yes, yes, yes. Okay, you signed attendance sheet. You signed for the attendance sheet. Okay, it is there, not in the group, in the chat. Yeah. And is only remaining 2 minutes for. So please, all of you should sign 100%. You should sign it 100%. Okay. So if there is no question, then bye bye everyone. We'll meet in the next class, which is our day 3, which will be on Friday at 8 p.m. So bye bye everyone. Bye bye.